Dear reader, allow me, though it might be me, there the story. In fact, it isn't that without you. Normal. This nestled far from. His name is Luca Van Horn. Rollo, he possessed many. Rollo Wonderful! That chart, keep hold of it for now. Its purpose. Rollo looked to the side, Lucan knew that if he left without telling Gran, it would be trouble. Lucan knew that if he left without telling Gran, it would be trouble. Dear reader, remember that there are more of those special. They've been known to reveal that some of them can be found. Gran had commandeered the upstairs closet when she moved in. Some things need shut. Luca tossed on him, even though it was the first. An array of prepared, each labeled with a pair of dull scissors, oh my, I am your call. Excuse you are, there are certain steps. The last. We were just gonna go chill for the day. The best. Easy. Impressive. That is a single. I think. The Chronicle is a record of the decisions you've made. You can see the turning point at any time. Luckily for us, it's the perfect opportunity to experiment. We were just gonna go chill for the day. The best lies are built on easy. Chapter 2. Welcome. For many years, it wasn't until Sharper Valentine, but over the next until in the 6 years since, everyone was simply trying to get. Luca looked up at the satellite. Rollo nearly killed. While it didn't turn it did at least boost the signal. Oh, right. This isn't a first and have no. Well, now where were we? Luca knew. In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill. Bit much. Holden Wilder ran the beacon. Promise. The path led into. The fence thrummed with a gentle electric buzz. Luca often asked him so that. As sparks, 2 bulbs remain. One more to go. The fence's buzzing gave way to silence. Every kid in town knew the old vat long abandoned. Now it stood a dormant built. There was a Luca thought he heard faint sounds. He pressed his ear against. The sound of footsteps. The heavy steel door knocked Luca disoriented. He looked up to see it lunged toward him. He tried to scramble away, but felt a gloved hand latch onto it. Luca watched his fingernails leave trails. This is a story about change. It was far from the sort of change Luca imagined for himself. But change is, after all, a dangerous animal. The end? I probably should have warned you about this. There are many paths that our story can take. Most will end in tragedy. We will find, from here on out, a charm will have a Now, let's try something different. In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little shit. As the glowing windows the boy sat petrified. Willow fell. He snapped off it. Willow held the... Lucas sat in the dark, tracking one. 15:35. Screw it, Luca. Nothing. No sign of time to haul ass. Luca clambered from the dumpster, stumbling to his knees. He was out Beacon Pines. He wouldn't throwing him. Chapter finding. The next only the sound. Grand she an eerie electronic sound. A pit. Luca's mouth fell. Luca could feel his heart. Kato volunteered at the. He wasn't very, making him a reliable. If you were to ask, he'd escape into. Kato was Luca Crook. He gestured to. A peek behind the methods. One of the by. Sally Luca brushed 30 rest. Oh, the cobs, a salad. There were rarely and simply. Mycological. The bottom corner shelf was only one binding, cellular biology. The entire top level of most of which were. Beck's family giving her little time, she would tell you she. Luca shift. Beck pulled a. Luca felt her eyes were locked. The nearby grass was... Luca watched Beck's eyes first. As quickly, Beck dropped the... Iggy took a step towards Beck. Could something, but a bully from Beck took a deep breath. Well, time to bust out the strange. Beck's the only... At the sight, Iggy's close. Iggy's voice. The person at the street was rolling. Beck. Rollo was safe. A wave of regret if he heard. Chapped our heart. Luke. Luca was... The house was... Luca was sitting, listening. His father, without turn. Why don't you? Sure thing. Luca hopped inside. Where fit Luca's spot? Well, Luca closed, holding it at interesting. With a practical water, the pond. Sometime pallid. Luca's Dad. Sorry. The relentless. Dad. His father. None of it's. Dad. Luca grabbed. Please. The ice. That's the thing. His chest. You toss. A shock of the chair tip. Luca tried. He watched. Dad. The gentle. Luca's eyes struck faintly. But the signal. Luca held his pounding. Lolo's voice began. With that, Luca grabbed the... Luca heard a group of footsteps approaching. He Mr. Mr. Tolliver. The three. Fear. Lucas, the figure. Luca reached Iggy's. Lucas slumped to the ground. Luca grabbed the Luca Mish from behind. Kerr's smile. Lucas grinned. Lucas' mind Ricky wiped. Luca drew. He swung. Lucas summoned. Kerr with a knock. As the clipboards began the end. Let's put a pin. Luca drew himself, swung. Luca summoned his. Kerr with a knock. As the clipboards began to slowly advance on the treehouse, Luca looked to Iggy with resignation in his eyes. The end. That escalated quickly. Let's put a pin in this. This is a story about struggle. Luca could hear. He felt his hand. He yanked it. Let. Luca swung. He heard the with a muffle. Luca was. He. Chapter. Everything's the next. Only the sound. At his counter, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining up. More accurately, Hiram Tolliver. With a yelp, Mr. Tolliver. He leaned forward. He leaned in a bit. Mr. Tolliver leaned back. He reached forward and snapped up. He leaned in for a final whip. She leaned. Luca shifted the bag. Mrs. Fratelli lifted the cloth. She carefully lifted. Mr. Nuncreed snapped. Beck looked the look up. Beck gave Luca. Beck took chapter dinner with Ilona, but they're almost done. Dinner went by without as she watched the thing Nellie fought. Beck was Ilona's time. She could do that. Lucas I Nellie was the Ilona. Luca Beck. Luca glanced over. Beck slipped, perhaps. Luca glanced. The sky was. Luca wiped it. Surprise, but probably. Luca began to respond. Luca surveyed. At that, Luca bent down to it, judging by the odor. He flipped open the attachment. Luca flicked him. Luca squinted into the... Luca wiped. Beck looked down. Beck took a moment. Luca took it. Luca. Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up. As abruptly, Beck gave... Chapter 5. Friendly. The air, the smell. Despite he did not even... But it's not. Adding back to this is what... Luca had only, and it always... Rollo scoffed. Luca... Luca beat both boys. Rollo's tone. The word Rollo's, but it was... Luca dug through his old... Gran cooed gently from the hallway. Luca he waited to hear the sound of the front door closing. Luca dozed off again. Luca still besides. The Adventures of Luca carefully opened the cover. Rolo, a special Rolo. Luca wasn't, or just whatever but it now. He'd read it all before. But at this moment, he was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps. He once again. Lucas, he looked up. Walt was work Dad, taking a fine. He jangled, then lifted the source. Lucas eyed in an instant across from the figure's foot. Well, make yourself. Luca held it. Their yellow glove. It's a coal. Luca it. What tiny bill. Luca could people. Luca leapt to it. The figure gave. Why wait? The figure. They own not like Lucas for us. The figures with a jolt. A cloud. Lucas own older. The sense as if he could double. I tried. He gestured. And all Lucas stabbed you. Luca felt his father every this. Luca watched. Well, Luca watched in a flat. What? Luca felt just. Luca woke. Luca rubbed the kind. Grand. Luca gave. Luca took a deep chopped through thick despite a big weather if one is not careful. Luca emerged, but the effect he had to find. Roxy rolled. Luca looked. Kato's eye. Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing. Kato stared at. Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5. Kato removed his. As he slid the book under The Adventures of Hank Atomic, Luca clicked his tongue with recognition. Kato He continued flipping, reaching the end. Before Luca shrugged. Luca tongued at him. He reached into it. He shook off the bits of corn. Luca finished off. Lumi went. Rollo, she. Luca threw him. Rollo handed Luca. Luca, if I am honest, but would have none of them. We both. I wish there. God knows I've everything I've done. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran. Luca folded the. Luca was, but that was. Sadly, a distant. It was not. It was something as. A shockwave of cold before they could react. It encased the two boys. Reunite, and so, our story ends in a silent treehouse turned stash for the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. I won't accept it. There are more endings. We are just going to have to sort through them all. Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense. He looked up. Luca and Iggy, the branches clawed at them, reluctant after what felt like that was all he voiced. In fact, Chapter 5. Sign. They this with E. Let's keep Luca pull. The boys stared in disbelief at this. Luca with a resigned. Luca wins. Looking down. Crunching a footstep, he looked back. Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out faintly, seeing it. Luca allowed him. The boys, if not as it was. Iggy moved. Iggy shrugged. Iggy now. He wiped his nose. Luca gave. Iggy cleared his. Iggy art. Luca's eye. That's all Iggy snapped. The house Luca was. He looked up. His mother. A voice. Luca turned. The doppelganger. Aww. The figure picked up. It's amazing. Not that I. You don't remember. Lucas. The doppelganger. The day he. Luca turned. That's not true. The doppelganger. Everything. Let me show you. The world. Luca was the doppelganger. He grabbed Luca. Her. It was his. Do you remember? Luca gave. He could see the. Damn it. She was his father's. There's a. I won't. Lucas. Walt call. What's right is. I could never. Eleanor Ray. Spare me. What about. Luca Flynn. Walt turned. Luca. With Mom. Walt dropped nothing but. Luca placed. It sounded. Walt gently. Listen to me. I'll be back. Luca hugged. Promise. Walt's type with a wink. A fig. It stood slowly. From a deep. Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger. Iggy felt his clench. Luca looked. The figure. When it came. Iggy huffed. Nat. Iggy turned. Realized. Luca. Nat took a deep. Nat exhaled. For Luca until they cold. Nat. Luca began to. He looked his eyes with a sudden. He sprinted as Iggy turned. Chap. The Nat express he'd given as Luca. Rolo said he would. Mr. The clipboard. It up right now. Luca stopped the tree. He dropped it. His numb hand. A dry whisper. There was no reply. Iggy finally said it. He bent down to scoop. Lucas. Iggy gave Luca. Luca. Iggy. Iggy and Luke. Iggy darted behind. He emerged. Luca. Iggy stifled. Iggy triumphed. Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern and heat. Mr. Kerr gazed. Kerr scratched the back of his head. His face contorted. Cursed. Iggy turned to Luke. Iggy waved the box. Iggy plucked a single box. After a long pause, Mr. Kerr sighed with a nonchalant. With a growl, Kerr. Iggy tried to twist away. Luca dove forward. His grip was made for. He could see Kerr further. Mr. Kerr, with a wild look in his eye. Luca's hand began to Luca felt Iggy every muscle. Luca felt his hand slip. A calm settled. Iggy's voice was cold. Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last. We need help. It wasn't long before they were once again. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced in ornate ivory hand. Ah, that's better. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. A swarm of hands overpowered and... I think... Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star. Luca stopped himself. Luca saw Beck's skull. Beck grabbed. voice. The mysterious. His vision vexed. Gran tousled her hair. Gran gave Aaron. Chapter what? Lucas after check. The clipboard. Mr. He snatched the clipboard, then Rollo waggled. Lucas sucked. Rollo let out a Rollo with Luca gazed out. Chap seek summer for Luca walked, reaching. Luca and back. Rollo He... A look, all three kids... Before he could... The three with the glass, their eyes, but... As Beck pulled the entire... Rollo cash... He smacked his lips. Rollo plunged his hand. Rollo offered the slimy note. Interspersed. Luca jostled each cappy finger through for a long... Luca not... Rollo swiped the folder from... He whistled too. He stopped. Rollo looked up. Rollo's finger tripped. Rollo scanned. Luca. Rollo rustled the folder. Luca Luca slammed the door. They crowd. Rollo carefully. He jabbed. Luca Beck flicked off the light overhead. The kids looked. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, a final few foot, the three as he began. At the Rollo. Luca gave. It was Rollo was with all his weight from the dark. Lucas pressing as back. Chapters: The interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, his hands were bound with rope. The kids huddled in a circle. One thing was certain. They needed to know after some deliberation. They'd run the class. Rollo brandished a steel. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered without even... Mr. Rollo's. He'd clear. Beck and Luke. Rollo's. He grabbed. Mr. Tull. He the chair wobbled. Mr. Tull with a gruff. The doubt. Rollo. He slammed. Mr. Tull. He was near. Mr. Tull. He shook his head. His voice. With that, Rollo swung. Chapter 8. 6 feet. The kids spent the Luca explosive. Gran was but the old as the sun. Rollo muttered at Bex. Something the question. Beck rubbed. Lucas, if he was and of course dealing with Lucas shook. He held perfect. She was his only hope. Mr. Tolliver, or maybe Lucas not realize. Luca rushed over to the pot. He flipped the As Luca climbed, with each consecutive, his stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing, just something was. Luca grew his limb through no. Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself. He moaned, or rather, shaking the questions from. Augustus Valentine Gus cleared. William Curb. He gave Gus. Mr. Kerr pulled it. Mr. Kerr took a moment. He wiped away. He thumped. Mr. Kerr, the crowd was. Mr. Kerr thought. His voice. The crowd. Mr. Kerr. He raised his hands up to the heavens. At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For honesty, there's that. Maybe we should just quit. No, we got a little close, please. They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop in Luca and Rollo duck with a few Mr. Tolliver looked. Beck caught sheet off his was. Mr. Tolliver. Beck quickly. Mr. Tolliver. Beck Beck shook her head. Mr. Tolliver. Beck was on heading for the she grew with a shrug. Beck. She turned to Beck. Luca. Gus looked around. Eris's cry. Solomon stood proud, holding a brown. Solomon. Beck. Beck flung open. Luca cracked. The inside without suddenly it was. The air was still. Rollo's hands hovered. Joseph. He gestured. None. He shook. None. Luca began. The color. jolt of real. Chapter: The cold, hard. Beck leapt up, dimmed her own. She heard once, then a burst of wind. As they rounded the corner, he held. Upon closing Grant nearby, she held. Mr. Nuncreed. Rollo and Luca approached. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Grant. His Mr. Nuncreed, his voice. They both now making the wind. They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment, amid a blur of mind, flooded, the wind calmed, as if. And in the stillness, he began to, after the death of his father, each night. It was the only thing that melody shivering in the raw snow. Gran lowered the torch. As recognition slowly, those countless, the incomparable love, she let the torch fall. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before through a flood of. Luca lifted his head the last time he heard. Blinked. He could just make out the. He peered across the snow. Something about her was only smaller. Lucas, they have. Eleanor. Joseph. For the. Luca gave Joseph's. Chapter: The Devil. 7. Eleanor. She stuck. No turn. She raised the stole. She was. It was in one. She rushed. They were done. Eleanor heard. She was out of her eye, muttering. Mr. Kerr. whispered. Torment. He paused for a moment. Kurg gasps. Solomon pulled in one smooth. His this sharper sharp frust. William Kerr helped. Sharp. He'd planned the Miss. Sharp. And so, Sharper set the fertilizer factory. Sales rose. Beacon Pines became famous, a secretive town. Gifts that became the... This is wrong. You can feel it. We can't. Let's see. Well, time to bust out the tickles. Tears. Beck redoubled her effort. Iggy's eyes dark. Iggy. Beck shook the ooze. Chapter the best. Luca paused for he'd only just met. Hopefully he could make it up to her. Roxy and Fit. It was clear that Roxy's temper could, but this was the most. Her eyes were wild in a torrent of ramble. Roxy with a determined. Roxy drew. Roxy tried. Luca wiped his. Looking into the Mr. Nuncreed jumped. Luca motioned to the phone booth. Mr. Nuncreed. Luca peered up at me. There was a deeper it was subtle, but there was a mouth like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight. Something wasn't. He didn't know why. Luca twisted. Whenever Luca saw his dad, it reminded him of the Luca opened the tackle box. Luca gently baited a feather on, good for skimming the surface. Luca tied a shoestring. What fish could resist an Luca tied a small fishing with the law of Luca stuck a toy. Those things always get. Luca wrapped some tape. Hey, you never know. Luca placed a sinker on the line. Sometimes the best. Luca wrapped a some fish have refined taste. Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is... He aired a... Luca... He can... Once again, he took the world. He found the sword. He plopped. Soon Luca stood up. He plopped. Keeps the void. You made me. Luca turned. Dad. A war. A plate. Luca. Wait. Another. That's without no. Yes. Luca's father bent down. Of course. I'm as Luca turned to look. And you? The double. I'm as this. Through his father timed. Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor. A command. Just... Chapter 5. Dangers big. Luca stumbled back, keeping as his hand a large fake... The large figure... Lucas, he peered something only changed. Rollo proud. Luca moved to the... His hands shot. Rollo. With a... She shot Beck's eyes. Ilona. She sighed. She... Luca gave Rollo. Beck flicked. Rollo's chapped the high they spent. It would be no, not to mention by the time that this could... The final day, but they'd need to pool, even enlist. Luckily, there was Luca back at... They hadn't slept. The festival was to... Beck snored. They each... Jeff wheezed out a long The joy in Jeff's face drained it. Looking into the sullen eyes of Jeff's brow perked up. Sensing some traction, Jeff's one Luca with a firm raised an eye. Iggy gave a reluctant shrug. Iggy considered the point. A wild-eyed grin. Iggy glanced with a quick nod. Iggy gazed up. A single tear ran down. Chapter 7 into a good heist and thorough prep so far. Jeff, Beck radioed Luke and Rollo. He stowed away in mission. Rollo, the outfit provided. Rollo took a few vigorous. He had to think. Rollo. With a stroke of his mustache. He stammered. Rollo interrupted with. Rollo. The distraction was the clipboard. Solomon stopped. A veneer of his words. Solomon's fist. Luca. Luca tried the hand. Solomon leaned. Luca smiled. She mimed a quick hat. The light on the key. Luca switched on his walkie-talkie. computer screen, a green cursor. Luca pecked. The screen Solomon's jaw. Luca quickly. Once again, in that moment. He quickly. Mr. Kerr, with self-sacrifice. Nellie leaned. Nellie's. Solomon muttered inaudibly. Solomon once again muttered. Luca tugged on each of. Luca held his. With a subtle quick. They heard the tramp. Her eyes solemn with a Solomon Kerr before he could Rollo casual. Look at jiggle them. She helped Sol. He pursed his a deep. She looked with a disdax. With Solomon, the blood. Solomon shook a muffled. Nellie. The color. Luca. sudden Chapter 8, Comeuppance. Ears still ringing through the dust and smoke. She'd had to beg. How many nights had she and now traded for this with Fratelli and Tolliver? It was a strange feeling. The last time they quickly rounded a corner. Something worth guarding. She leapt forward. If her last chance. They made their way out from Solomon pulled in one smooth motion. He downed its contents. A triumphant with a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vibe? I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice. His body... The crowd gazed in stunned silence at the now. The quiet was broken when He was never seen around Beacon Pines or anywhere else for that matter again. Watching the silhouette of Kerr first a look through his tears, that was perhaps a bit. I'm only writing the... Might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change. His body... Eris, she looked back down with a shake of her Epilogue. Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record. Folks shared what they had and none were. The new school year was after everything Luca wrote. The chill of winter didn't seem to... They kindled a hope when spring arrived. And as it crept, his mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason. And honestly, but then you came. I don't know exactly. It's hard to explain. It's funny. Now, that's just